joined a little late. I was adding a couple things to my collection quick that I changed my mind and wanted to add at the very last second. So, hi, Luann. How are you? I had 43 seconds left on my basketball game, too, of course, and there was a challenge. So, they're going to win. So, that's fine. We can go back to crafting. I hope everyone had a fabulous week. I'm going to quick pull my TV up to YouTube. While I do that, we are going to use, let me switch over to my desk cam. We are going to use the stamp of the month, which is Origami Flight. There is an SVG file. I did not use it tonight, though. I did link it to the in the comments so that if you want to have that as well. I have the Feathered Path stencil of the month. And then I grabbed the acetate. Which one is this one? I put it in there. Hi, Karen. Hi, Brandon. Hi, ECs. Hi, Mama. Hi, Penny. Yeah, I saw that, Penny. Thank you. I turned it off because I was like, I'll watch that. Garden Lace acetate and the State Bird washi. And then I grabbed some cardstock. So make a couple of cards tonight, and we needed a couple samples of these, so that's why I'm going to do that tonight with some foiling, but we'll do that separately. Oh yeah, EC's it's going to be 80 degrees here tomorrow or more, almost 90. It was 80 today. It was beautiful, so I'm looking forward to the nice weekend. So all the links down below are affiliate links, which just mean that if you place an order using one of those links, I get a small kickback, and I appreciate that. That helps me bring you content. So I have a special place in my heart for the stamp set. So that are this washi tape here. My grandma made a quilt, a State Bird quilt. My mama, I believe, has it. And I'm so excited to use that. So that's why I kind of pulled in the yellow from here, but I really love purple, and this Soren Skies paper pad just spoke to me. So let's get started tonight. I've got some Perfect Blend paper here. My chat went kind of crazy. I didn't know for sure if I could see it all. There we go. Yeah, I'm excited for the weekend. I've got lots on my to-do list, though, not all crafting. All right, I'm going to go ahead and grab some pixie tape and tape this down. We could use it my stick and stamp mat, of course, too, which I think is up here, but I'm just going to use my desk because it's here. I'm not going to dig it out. And then we are going to grab some colors, and I am going to grab the Crown Me. Actually, maybe I changed my mind. I think I'm going to grab my new favorite color, which is Pompous. We'll put the Crown Me away for right now. So I love Simon Hurley inks. You guys know that. I'm going to grab a little cloth. So happy spring, everybody. Officially, I can tell you spring is here, not just because it's the first day of spring. It's also barges are going up north on the river, on the Mississippi River, which is usually the first sign of spring. So today, the first one went up this week. So, all right, let's get this Pompous going here. And I'm going to do the whole panel, but we're going to probably cut this down. So let's get my magnet on here to kind of hold this in place too. It's not shifting too much on me. So I am excited. I've got lots to get done tomorrow. Of course, take my little puppers for his morning walk like I always do. And then I would like to get my garden cleaned up, my flower beds cleaned up, just because it's going to be nice. So I have a little bit of time outside. I have a little bit of cleaning to do. I don't know if you noticed, but I put my desk back down below. I loved the standing desk, but I did not like the desk that I have. I mean, it's still a little wiggly. See, I can wiggle it if I really push on it. But when it's standing, it was very, very wiggly. And I did not like that during my lives. I did like the fact that when I was live, I could get up and I'm hearing some weird noises outside, some sort of machinery or something outside. I did like standing up. I thought I got, up and down and moving around easier when I was doing things for you guys, but I didn't like the wiggliness. It is a pretty color, ECs. It's so pretty. And we're going to zhuzh it up a little bit with my favorite, the Ornament Gold. I'm just going to spritz it. Oops, I moved it. So let's make sure it's all back in spots. I'm just going to spritz it over the top. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and just put my cloth down and wipe up any extras. And for the reveal, 1, 2, 3. No, you're not too late, Kate. We just started. I was a minute and a half late because I was watching my Iowa boys play basketball, and there was like 43 seconds left, and I was adding a couple things at the last minute. I changed my mind. I had only pulled the basic supplies, and then I didn't want to make Penny do too much work and have to add things to my collection. So I grabbed a couple of things and was adding them to my collection. I'm like, oh shoot, it's 8:01. So look at how pretty that is. I hope you can see that shimmer and shine. It's kind of hard to see. So we got that for our base. Now I'm not going to lie. I think it was Tara, one of my friends, Tara, and she used a MFT sketch, and it says very big. I'm sorry because I didn't have time to print it, and I'm kind of using this as my design for tonight. So this is going to be our background. I might use this whole thing. I'm thinking about it, but I think I'll cut it down because I want to add some colors to it. And I see that there is a little bit of color right here. So what we'll do is we're going to cut this down to, let's cut it down to, I'm just eyeballing it, 4 1/4. But I am going to trim the sides off a little bit too, just because I like to layer mine. So I'm going to trim a little bit off each side so that it's at 4. So it's 4 by 4 1/4. Okay. And then I did add this at the last minute as well. We're going to add the lavender cardstock. I was using this. Good evening from Texas. Laura, I see you checking on that. So, all right. And I'm going to cut this down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is our normal, card base. So this needs to go like this. And then we're going to use this right here. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm very close. I need to, let me move my camera. If you get seasick, look away. Let me bring that up a little bit. I think my camera fell a little bit. I might have pushed it. There we go. That's better. Looks like I'm more on camera. So instead of putting another piece of cardstock here, we're just going to leave this as our base, and I'm going to put a little trim there. Okay. Now my design here, it looks like there's a little trim that's what we're going to do, and then it's got a big circle. I don't know if we're going to use such a big circle, to be honest with you. I'm thinking we're going to use, I don't know if I want to use this paper on this. I think we're going to hold off on this. We're going to use that with the second card. Maybe we'll get to 3 cards. I want to use the Sugar Plum glitter stock. Look how pretty this is. Oh yeah, easy. It's my favorite color too. Purple is absolutely my favorite color. So it just so happens that my favorite football team also is purple, and so it works perfectly for me. Wait till you see. I'll try to bring it. I believe I just got a leather lavender jacket, and I'm probably going to bring it with me. So I'm thinking I'm going to maybe use this because I'm thinking when we cut it down, we have just enough of an image. So, and these are old Spellbinder classic dies. So just, I just pulled them out of my stash. I'm going to see if I have the right circle. Yep. So this we're going to cut out a perfect blend. This we're going to cut out of our beautiful lilac cardstock here. I'm just going to cut a big old circle out of it like that. And we're going to run that through our die cutting machine. And our first card is almost finished, you guys. Almost. So I wanted to remind you that I believe at a $50 order, you get your choice of metallic feathers. There's gold and silver. And also, of course, the incentive stamp, while it's still in stock, is the nested stamp set. I have that right here. I can show you that as well. It's hiding. Give me a second and I will show that to you. So if you are interested in that, that is only good there this month. So if there's something you want, you get that automatically added free to your cart with a $60 order. All right. We're going to go ahead and just cut that off towards the top. And then actually we'll go over to the edge a little bit so we can try to save some paper. Because this is perfect blend. And I love my perfect blend. And then I have a bunch of cleaning to do in my craft room. Oh yeah, I love the glitter stock too. It's the glitter stock we have is so pretty. It doesn't shed. This sugar plum is just pretty. And then of course the other one I have is the buttercream. And I think we're gonna mix that with a little bit of creamed corn cardstock. But we'll see where we get that. Okay, so here's the basis of our card. Just like this, okay? And it is cut off some, so we're gonna stamp our image first. So I love the perfect blend because like I said, it blends, but it also stamps perfectly. And then I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our little, I'm gonna put it so it goes off the edge a little bit. And we're going to stamp both our sentiment and our image at the same time. Creased with kindness. Go with our little ornament, origami crane here. Yeah, it was funny because it was I had to go into our little secondhand store. It was on the mannequin, and I'm like, so I ended up buying the shirt that went with it because it's a dark purple with a lavender flower on it. That might be a little warm for Pittsburgh when I come. We'll have to see. I'll see what the weather's like, but it's the cutest coat, and I had to get it. It's like this color. Okay, let's get my little perfect press here. My friend Treasure Blue Sparkle makes those. Awesome. So I kind of moved it, so I'm going to leave it. I probably could have been in my sentiment a little bit more. I haven't stamped this yet. We're going to let this sit for just a minute because I do like to let my ink dry, especially because we're going to use a light color. And I did not empty my open my garbage can tonight, so it's in the way. And then that sugar plum, we're going to add just a little touch of yellow. I'm not going to go, we could go monochromatic. Should we stick? No, we're going to do the yellow. I'm going to do the yellow. Add a little bit of yellow glitter stock, just a little bit more. Now you could totally pull one of these cardstocks in as your little, your little border. Couldn't think of the word. But I'm going to use just a little piece of this, and I'm just going to chop off a 1/4 inch. So it's a 6 inch. So I'm just going to move it over. I know it's going to be so much fun. And I get another birthday celebration. EC's, I don't know if you saw that. So there is, I don't know if those of you who don't know what an air store is, it's they're independent scrapbook stores. And Christopher is teaching a class that is exclusive with air stores. It's virtual and it's a virtual class, but my local scrapbook store, Scrapmania in Cedar Rapids, is one of the stores that had some kits. She had 14 left, I think, today, she said. And then if you're local, you can come to the store. If you're not local, she's doing a crop that weekend, you can come to the crop and then come to the class. And I'm going to kind of walk around and help everyone in the background during the class. I mean, I did sign up for the class, but I'm going to walk around and maybe have some fun things for attendees. And then because that's the weekend after my birthday. So I have 2 friends. Shout out to those 2, Julie and Lori, that are going to celebrate with me, and it's going to be so much fun. I haven't been down there in a while, so that is going to be fun for my big 50 birthday this year. So I'm just attaching all of this down. Your kit came this week. Awesome. Isn't it nice, Penny? Maybe you saw a sneak peek, but it's a very nice kit. Mine's sitting right there because I might have got mine already either, and it's sitting over there, but I can't pull it out. I can't even reach it to give you a sneak peek. I mean, you can see the pictures of it if you go to classes. Okay, so we've got this on here. Now it does say to cut a little bit of this off. So we're just going to go for it. It doesn't say what. I'm going to just eyeball it. We're going to just eyeball it. I'm going to set it up. Let's do it up here at the top of my, and I'm going to line up my little kindness as straight as I can and cut the bottom off. I'm not going to cut the top off yet though, because I can cut that off when I layer it on here like this. Okay. But before we do that, just in case I make a mistake, I'm going to color first. We're just going to grab a little bit of a light yellow color here. Let's see. I think this might look okay. Just to pull in with our butter yellow. And I'm just going to dab it just because yellow and black, it doesn't matter what ink you use. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes yellows and even the alcohol-friendly inks, alcohol marker friendly inks don't always like, the yellows don't always like them. So I have found that for me, if I dab instead of, like usually color like that, if you dab, you don't smear it no matter what type, because this is an alcohol friendly ink, but it sometimes just doesn't matter. Because it's such a light ink. It's kind of like reds. All reds seem to like burp. Which kit again had to step away from that? Oh, Easy, she's talking about the air kit. The air kit that is with the scrapbooking stores. She got hers this week because I know Stacy from Scrap Mania in Cedar Rapids was shipping them out. She had 14 left today, she said. So you have to order. It's a $30 kit. And you get the class with Christopher. It's a virtual online class. And you can there is independent retail stores, but I do know that, like I said, Scrap Mania in Cedar Rapids is shipping. They ship to people too, and you can call them if you want. Just go to scrapmania.com, or it's Scrapmania. If you just Google Scrapmania Cedar Rapids, you'll find it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down now. But I was so easy. I was talking about that I broke my pin. This is one I got from my mom, so I might not be able to use this glue tonight. Let's see if I can get my tweezers. I need to get a new one out. I'm going to try again. I may have to wait. Yeah, there we go. I was talking about that. That's what I'm doing for my birthday weekend. So I'm going to have the air class. I mean, my birthday's on a Tuesday this year. But then we get to celebrate again a big birthday with you and Penny and Christopher. And well, I don't think Walter's coming in person, but he can do it virtually. I think there's a couple other people too, to be honest with you. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any that are, I can't think of exactly who. It's going to be fun. And I'm just going to pull this over like this. Let's put our magnet on here and let it kind of just sit for a minute. I'm going to put this pin thing right back on here so I don't lose it, and stick it on something. I'll put it in my container over here. Yeah, it's going to be a fun class. It's a great kit. And I'm excited to. I love classes, whether they're in person or in virtual. I'm super excited. I think, Penny, I don't know, are there any spots for Spring Fling left virtually or in person. If so, I don't know if you are feeling the generosity and want to share a link. Go ahead and cut this off. Cut this off, and there we go. Look at how cute that card is. It's so cute. And I actually threw that little bit of glitter stock away. Now I did have an ERP for my yellow because I got a little bit over. So I'm just going to grab this and push that away. And I just happen to have some topaz gems on my desk. So we'll add a few of those. Put a couple here, and we'll put 1, 2, and 3 up there and call it good. I don't know if I have a glue thing handy. One of my little glue stands where I can tip my glue upside down for now. I do have my glue press sitting here, but I guess my Barely Arts glue is in front of me, so I grabbed it. They both sit on my desk. All right. So there we go. We got card number 1. Thank you. Well, I guess technically it's panel number 1, right? Because Ian, you put it on your card base, which I haven't grabbed yet. Ooh, there's a bug on my ceiling. You can tell spring is coming because there was a couple bugs in the house today. There you go. So we have our card number 1. All right, I am going to put this off to the side and let it fully dry. I don't know that for sure. I mean, I think I heard possibly. I had the full set too, and I still haven't used my full set up. I did buy 2 duplicates of 2 that I thought I was going to run off, and I still haven't. So, all right, let's get some squeaky clean here. I'm using Brookie Blizzard. Clean up that glue. And that was card number 1, using the required things that I wanted to use to start. Now I want to veer off and let's do some foiling, okay? I got my little fuse here. It's going to be upside down. I just have a piece of copy paper tonight. Shalana. I knew the Shalana. Okay, Pam and Carrie on. See, I knew that they're 2 newer ones. That's why I couldn't remember them. And that's right. I guess I do have Nick's birthday written down in there too. Thank you, Penny. I have the list, but obviously I don't have the list pulled up. So, well, I'm going to move this to the floor while it heats up because we need to cut our panels down. I didn't do that ahead of time. When you get the dual foil or the acetate sheets, you get 2 sheets that have 4 A2 panels on it, and you get a backer sheet. I don't think I'm going to use any of the backer sheets tonight. They are beautiful. These are not foilable, but these are. Okay, so we're going to foil at least one of these. Haven't decided which one, so I'm going to go ahead and layer it to 5.5. I'm kind of leaning towards this one, but I'm also leaning towards the one with the center. And then I'm going to cut it to 4.25. Oh, I did not quite line that up right. See? Measure once, or measure twice, cut once, people. That's all right. I didn't quite get that one lined up, but I was thinking about using this one anyway. We're probably going to cut it down because I want to cut the edge off, and then we'll cut this one in 4.25 as well. And I'm going to move it over slightly just because I'm going to cut it right down the middle. Okay. So this one I am going to trim down to 4. Well, yeah, I'm going to trim it down to 4. Just because when I go to put it in my panel, it will be easier. And I'm going to cut it down to the edge here because I want that edge. Okay. This one, we're going to cut down the edges on both sides because I'm going to do the same thing. I want to cut off the extra that isn't printed. Okay, I don't know if I had that at an angle or what. I did not cut that properly. So let's line it back up in our machine, and there we go. Trim all that extra off, make it straight, square. Okay. All right. I pre-cut some gold foil. This is just some lots of birthdays in April. The backer sheets are beautiful, and that's why I wanted to I don't want to showcase those tonight. These are super simple to foil. I know you don't have to foil them, but I wanted to tonight. You can also use them black. I have some samples of the free flight ones I can show you that I made last night. I just uploaded them to store today, but I can show those to you when we're done. I am just using a piece of copy paper because I was too lazy to go get my carrier sheet that went with my fuse. This is just a piece of copy paper for my printer. And of course, you can feel the texture. That's the side that has to foil. This is smooth. This top part, I can feel it. So then I want to put the silver because this is gold. I want this side to go because this is the side I want to see. So this is the pretty side. I want that pretty side up, right? And then I'm just going to feed it through my fuse. I love using my foil. I love a fuse. I have perfect foiling with them. I'm going to go on 4. Lots of birthdays in April, except. Yeah, it was a high. It was a high of like 80 something today, and it's going to be 90, almost 90 tomorrow. My boss is in this closer to you, and he told me it was 85 in the shade and 100 and something in the sun. And I was like, you can have it. It was really nice out. I have windows open. Sat outside with my pup and my honey for about an hour after work today, just enjoying the sun and the heat. Took the puppers after dinner for a really long walk. Like, let him sniff everything. Okay, you can run it through twice if you want. I don't feel like I need to do that. I'm going to let this cool now. That's another key. Let's let it cool before you peel and reveal. We'll go ahead and put this one in. I was going to think, where are those cards I made? They might be right behind me. They are. Okay, so I do have some I can foil. I show you the free flight worked the same way. That was part of this release. So while that is running through, I'm going to show you those cards that I made last night. Here's the first one. This is funny because EC's made ones very, well, not similar, but yes, similar. And I was making this card at the same time I saw hers. So I foiled it with the same gold foil, and I used the backer sheet that came with that foil, and I cut it down. And then I used some of the gilded embossing powder, which matches that foil perfectly. And then I used the gold foil again on this one. And then this is one of the Birdsong dual foil sheets. I did not foil the sheet. I don't even know if this was one of the foilable sheets. And then I just layered on some licorice cardstock, making sure I could see it in there. I thought that was fun. And then I'm going to turn this off. I foiled this one with the rainbow. And then the last one I did not foil at all. I just adhered it to one of the backer sheets, and I left it plain because I like the birds flying in the sky, because that's what I think they would look like. I want 15 more of just this one. So that's some of the ones that some things you can do with the acetate. I don't do the acetate during my live as often as I probably could. So don't let me forget, and I will do some more as we have them. Okay. Are you ready for the reveal? Yes, yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It is an awesome set. The rainbow birds on the wall. Oh, I know. I just thought that was perfect. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Wow. And I can save this and use this with a piece of toner sheet and foil that. Or I can actually use some double-sided adhesive and I could just adhere it, that type of thing. Look at how pretty that is. And I will show you how we're going to adhere this. Where's my other one here? Doo-doo. Oh, it's still inside. I had 2 more pieces of foil sitting there. All right. Now it's cool. Oh, I can see the design too. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Look at how beautiful those are. They're so pretty. And if you were going to take, like I said, you could take the backer sheet if you really wanted to use these backer sheets, and you could lay it right over the top. But I think these are so pretty that I don't want to use. I mean, you could use obviously, and then maybe use one of these ones with more foil over, but I love these scenes, so I don't want to cover those up. So we're going to use these a different way on some paper. Now, how I like to do this is I have double-sided adhesive. This adhesive is old. I don't know where I got it from. I believe I originally got it maybe from Tailored Expressions. I do know scrapbook.com has some. I know Alta New has some. You just need, I just like to use the double-sided adhesive. And I think that it works beautifully. I'm going to go ahead and see if it's going to work for me. No, oh, it's very sticky. So we're going to have to go for it because I stuck it down. This is a little shorter than the edges. That's fine. I usually don't worry about wasting some of it. I just stick it down and cut around it. I'm going to go ahead and just layer this one down. And I will say you don't use your good scissors or use some non-stick scissors. I have some scissors I specifically use for these. All right. Put that off to the side. I'll go ahead and trim this right down. You can see right how sticky this stuff is. So you only get one go at it. I'm not going to worry too much about the top and bottom of that edge because it's still going to stick. And then I have learned that if you have it a little on the edge, what nice way is to do it, cut it up halfway and then fold it up, and you can cut the rest of it and it won't stick. Especially if you trim your panel down. Oh, I know. They are beautiful. They are beautiful. You can see how sticky that is. Okay. And I always clean my scissors later. Just use some alcohol or baby wipes, and I guess wipe them really good. But those are some not so good scissors. Those are just from the dollar store. I've had them for a long time. Okay. So we've got those. I think what I'm going to do, did I get a bubble? I did. I got a bubble. Well, I show you how we can fix that. You can, first of all, you can take your bone folder and kind of just rub it. Or the other thing I did is I took my pin for my glue, which I moved, and I just poked a tiny little hole. It's going to be hard, kind of at an angle like this. Just being real careful to poke a hole where those bubbles were. And then when I go to, it'll flatten it out, get that air out of there. You just have to be careful because if you go too hard or too long, you could scratch if that's where the foil is the other side. Okay. It is like an Xyron. You could use a Xyron adhesive. This is just, it's double sticky adhesive. It's, you know, they come in rolls, they come in sheets. I have had that for a long, long, long time. I'm going to go ahead and choose one of these. I'm kind of leaning towards this because I like the yellow flowers on it. And then maybe we'll choose a more, I'm just looking at all the beautiful patterns. I'm thinking I want to do, let's mix it up a lot, not use the purple. And then I want to grab, I think, this one, a more muted pattern. This is the Soarin' Skies paper pad. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hear them first and then cut them down just because. And then, so I'll show you here then, Easy's, it's like I said, it's just double-sided adhesive. You can get, like I said, a big roll like that from like scrapbook.com. I do have a link on my blog to it. And so you can see it right now you can see it. But for me, it really just disappears when I put it down. I mean, you could probably tell on this one because I didn't get it to the edges, but really, I mean, you can see it only because I didn't get it to the edges. And then I'm going to glue this one down on this one. But I don't think it's as bad as if you use tape runner. Oh, the hardest part, to be honest with you, is the peeling, especially when I'm live. It does not want me to peel when I'm live. Even if I use my stick. Because I have been using this on during the countdown boxes. Those have all been uploaded, by the way. The spring countdown box videos have all been uploaded. The last one went live today. So if you did get one of those boxes, see if I can. You can now watch all of them. I have them all in a playlist. There we go. You can actually save this if you need to add 2 extra foam pieces. I'm going to go ahead and just glue this one down. I'm okay if it's not right at the edge because I'm going to cut it down. So here you can't quite see that it's adhesive back compared to this one because there's a difference in the edge. I don't know if you can see that. You can see it in person, but you just cut that down. Oh yeah, because you're all watching it. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would say you could do. Use your Xyron machine with a couple of those swatches. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this down on both sides. I'll cut the bottom off first here too. And that way you can kind of make it. I prefer that to doing that when I'm doing a full adhesive like this. Now you could do a small and just put some adhesive behind this piece. You wouldn't really see it. And then you could have this piece loose. That I was fine with that too. I am going to cut this one down a little bit more. Just because I had that extra adhesive that I forgot to cut off. I cut off. Okay. I mean, so by cutting it down, you can't see that edge. But look how pretty that is. What a beautiful background piece. Let's see, what is this one? This one's 4. Oh, that one's 4 by 5. We got to cut that one way down too. That's why it looked awkward. We're going to trim it down a little bit more on each side. I could actually cut this down right down the center and make 2 card panels out of it. That looks a little better. Yeah, that looks a little better. That looks a little better. Okay. We'll save all these pieces. I'll worry about those later. Okay. Yep. When everyone's watching, things are always different. Okay. So got this beautiful piece of purple that I still could use, and we could mat this on here. Same thing with this. And you could mat it a little bit. I got a little schmutz on there. Okay, there. That's just a little overfoiling. It needed to come off. I like the colors on these here a little bit. And so I'm not sure I want to use the blue though. I think we're just going to pull in another color. Actually, let's just use white. Let's just use white. I'm going to use this piece right here and cut it down because I already have it trimmed. Okay. This is the unplanned card. This is the card that's just, I knew I wanted to foil, and that's about as much as I knew. You guys know me. I like to do at least one unplanned. I do a one unplanned card all the time. See. Okay. A little overfoiling here. Just rubbing it off with my fingers. And then I'll trim that down a little bit. That looks like it's close enough. I'm eyeballing that trim. There we go. Look at how pretty that is. Then we could layer this. And then I have that cutout there. for a panel, if I was just going to have this as a panel, I just take my finger and rub my tape off, but I can layer it. And I'm going to go ahead and layer it on this purple just because it's handy here. And then all we need is duh. I'm smart tonight. That was very smart of me, wasn't it? I forgot to put this tape on it. Did you guys notice that? Then you could do a die cut sentiment. You could do some extra flowers. You could do just a very basic sentiment. And you would have a beautiful card here. I'm just going to see. I feel like I got a little something. There we go. Had something on there. I just have, this is just a little glue eraser. It's helping erase that extra glue or stick that I had on there. Okay. So we've got this panel, and then let's get this panel on something. I'm feeling like we need to pull a different color, though. I think we need this. Let's see. Where is the cover? It says lavender mortar, ballerina, waffle cone, and mint. Let's pull that ballerina. Okay. Let's pull that ballerina. Yep, that's too skinny. Yep, that's perfect. Oh, that purple flower is so pretty on the other side. I just like the color purple. I like dark purple better than lavender, but I love lavender's close second because it is purple. I'm going to do a little bit thicker border on this one. Maybe a 1/4 inch. If I know my measurements a little bit. Not quite a 1/4 inch. I look close. Yeah, I eyeballed that pretty good. Okay. All right. Now, I do not have any like little baubles or bits here hanging out. I mean, like I was going to say, you could quickly grab. I have a, I'm not going to use this because you can see it's broken, but you could throw a sentiment on here that just says like thanks, and you'd have a quick card. Like I said, I don't have any pieces made, so we need to kind of. I got schmutz on it, and it's driving me nuts. All right, let's get some sentiments here quick. I am going to grab Simple Sentimental. I'm just going to put a couple of quick. Okay, that needs to be trimmed a little bit. It is off just a hair. It looks a little bit there. We're trimming it because it looks off to me. And when it looks off, I trim until it looks right. So sometimes I like doing it bigger because I can always trim it down. All right, let's grab a couple of sentiments. I got super sentimental and extra sentimental. Thinking we've got thinking of you. I love this beautiful. It's one, but I don't know if I really want to do this on here because I don't know if, yeah, I think that's going to take up too much room, unfortunately. So we will grab, let's see, let's just do happy birthday. Okay. Because I still want to get to that washi tape. Oh, 45 minutes. Ooh, we're getting close. All right. So first thing we're going to do is stamp the happy birthday down. Some Raven ink. Going to add that more pink in there just to do that. Because I know I wanted to show the acetate a little bit tonight just because I knew that We got the happy birthday. Do I have a piece of the lavender, a small piece of the lavender here on my desk? I do not. Grab a piece of lavender. To be honest with you, I think I'm going to change it. Instead of thinking of you, we're going to do both of them as happy birthday. Just to save a little time. You can always use a birthday card in your stash, correct? I mean, I got how many birthdays coming up? You have the cat. Oh, I can. The dog hair. I actually, one of my samples last night, I noticed, I was like, oh no, I wonder if that is going to show up in the picture, because there is an actual picture underneath the adhesive of Fletch's dog hair. I thought that was really funny, but it is a company founded because of a dog, named after a dog. So I figured we were good. I'm going to go ahead and just trim this right in half. I know I might be off screen here a little bit. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. I am going to finish those ones up pretty quickly. I don't think you need to do much when you have these beautiful acetates like this, because they're just the shining, especially whether you foil them or not, they're just so pretty. You don't need to do a ton of judging, and you can always put a little few flowers around your sentiment, but you don't have to. You can let them, and whether you foil them or not, speak for themselves and be this focal, this shining star of this. So we're going to put one here. And actually this one, we're going to do it this way. Still going to do that bottom corner because that's the way I like to have my sentiments. And I'm going to do both liquid and dry adhesive because of the slickness from the acetate. I have found that works the best. The other thing is you can always come back later and add a little bit of something to it if you wanted to. You can always add a couple of flowers or add some gold gems if you want. You don't have to add them when you're creating, if you're creating just to have some cards and some fun creating time. Because maybe the person you're giving this card to isn't super into florals. Yes, I just blew into my glue. Sometimes that blows the air back out and I can get the glue to work. It's kind of a weird trick I saw a friend of mine do. See, look, my glue is coming out. It gets the air back in the bottle instead of in the thing there. All right. So there we go. That was me showing you guys the acetate. So kind of some quick, pretty fast ones. But I do want to use this washi tape. I think it's beautiful. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to pull in a piece of that creamed corn. Look at how pretty this yellow cardstock is. It is so pretty. So, so pretty. Go ahead and cut this down to an A2 card panel. And then if you guys can bear with me, we go a little bit long. I think we're going to be okay. I want to, excuse me 1 second. I'm going to unplug my fuse. I don't like to have them both plugged in at the same time. I am going to do a little bit of quick heat embossing because I did get this. I do have the embossing powder of the month called Canary. I just put it in this container from the envelope. So we're going to do, you should see my desk over here, you guys. Is I'm going to quick wash this off with a little squeaky clean. It's so funny, after my lives, I usually go downstairs for a few minutes. Tonight I'm having my ice cream and then I come up here and I start putting everything away. Some nights though, I just was like, I'm like, nope, don't want to. I'll do it tomorrow. And then I'm like, you don't be dumb. Go put it away because then tomorrow you can come back and you can play right away. Tonight I have a little bit of a crafter math, but it's not horrible. I'm not using pixie spray because I'm going to do some heat embossing. This is going to be tone on tone. This yellow is beautiful. So I'm just going to do a little, so I'm not going to worry about it too much because there is some glitter in here. I'm going to grab the stencil and I'm going to grab a foam dauber, which is what I like to do when I'm doing, whether I'm doing alabaster or embossing ink, I like to use a foam dauber. Hi. Hello, Jamie. How are you? And so we're not going to go perfect with this. We just want a hint. And I'm going to kind of go more here up because we're going to do a landscape card. We're working on card number 4. Cards 2 and 3 were kind of a twofer. I heat embossed and kind of made 2 at the same time. All right. So I'm just going to kind of, that's good for me. I don't need it to go perfectly down to the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and pull that off. Let's see, put that over here for right now. And then it's not perfect in there. Let's see, I had a piece of scratch paper here. There we go. This is the piece I was using when I was doing my little reel of heat embossing. Canary embossing powder. It's so pretty. Look at how pretty that is. Wait till you see it. I haven't seen it on colored cardstock yet. I've only seen it on the So I am tapping it off because there's some glitter in this, and that helps get that extra little, you can kind of see where the glitter is in that little spots. And that's where anti-static powder tool, it doesn't always help, but the glitter won't stick. It's going to blow everywhere when I go to heat. So what I like to do when there's a glitter in my card, in my embossing powder, is heat from the bottom. Okay, I'm going to actually throw that piece of paper away because I've used it a few times. And then before I get started, I'm going to grab my Swiffer cloth and I'm going to wipe up some of this just because it's going to help. And then, oops, I attached my cord with a paper clip to keep it, and it's stuck. There we go. To keep it from falling in the camera. There we go. So what I'm going to do is heat this up. I'm going to heat it up on my arm just a little bit. That's awesome. Happy Friday. And I'm going to go from underneath because I have that. Sorry if you can't hear me. You can kind of see it melting. I'm going to quickly do this. And I am fairly close, so just be careful. Just keep it moving. You don't burn your paper. And then I can come back through and do the top. I'm just going to kind of tilt it every which direction. Okay. So sorry if you could not hear that. I went from underneath because that helped prevent the glitter that was in the embossing powder from flying everywhere. That's just not all over my desk. And so there is still some in the little crevices, but I'm okay with that. But by heating it underneath, it started to melt that and the glitter stayed with the embossing powder. So that's a little tip. It is very pretty. Let's see if I go over here by my, see if my camera will. Anyway, I wanted the tone on tone. So now I'm going to go ahead and line this up on my glass mat. And of course, it did, you know, the cardstock worked just a little bit. And I'm going to choose one of my pretty flowers. or birdies. I'm thinking I'm going to choose one of these with the yellow in there because, you know, we choose our yellow. I'm just, I don't want to use these guys because their heads are kind of cut off. Let's just go with this one with our, this is the state bird of Iowa. And we're going to make sure he's on there. So I'm going to lean up and in here, and I'm going to line it up with my mat. Go over just a little bit. And we're going to just line them up like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and fold it under because I'm okay with that, because I'm not going to save that little piece, and I'll fold this piece under like that. And then we have this cute, beautiful, fast little card. Look how pretty that is. You could totally cut this down, and I could still cut this down, which I might do just to tie in that little bit of white. So all we have to do is trim off a little bit each side, even though I twisted it, you know, folded it underneath. I'm only going to take a little bit off the bottom. I'll take a little more off the top. Because I do want it to be 4 by 5 1/4. I want that little bit of edge on the bottom there. So if you had the right sentiment, you could if you could find like, I'm not going to use it, but let's just grab a quick, where did that one go? This New Day stamp set has these little tiny sentiments. I mean, I could grab it and use it, but you could just put this little hello, my friend, and it would be perfect right there. That's not what I want to use though. I'm going to go ahead and use the, I want to use the origami bird one more time. And actually, I think I'm going to we're going to go a little crazy, guys. I don't know. What do you guys think? Does that work? I kind of like it. I kind of want to use the crane bird too. I hope that's okay with you guys. But I'm thinking maybe he needs to go on some vellum. So let me grab a little piece of vellum. I'm just going to grab, I just have a piece of vellum square here. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to stamp the sentiment down with it too. Let's just do a big old piece right here in the middle, and we'll cut him with a, of course, this is too big for my Mishti. Just making sure that's lined up. Oh, there's a bug. There's like a gnat. Get out of here. I'm not ready for gnat season. I hate little gnats. Okay, that looks good. Now I could stamp this at our heat resistant vellum. That's on another spot in my craft room. I'm going to go ahead and just use this. I am going to just barely touch this just to dry the ink. But this is not a heat safe vellum. But just enough to dry it. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab that same circle. Actually, we'll just grab a circle. It may not be the same circle. Yep, same circle. And we're going to cut that out quick. Thank you. I do too. I thought that was a really pretty color. And then because I can see through this vellum, I'm just going to trim it down. Willy-nilly. I've had that vellum in my stash forever. I can see, and I'm going to cut this so that my little piece of the hanging piece is at the top, and I'm cutting it off. Then we've got our little piece of vellum here. And once again, I could use some double-sided adhesive. I'm not going to worry about it terribly much. We're going to just go ahead and put this on here, but I think I'm going to put it off the top a little bit, and I'm going to cut it off. And we're going to do it. It's at an angle, but I want my sentiment to be. So we're going to just grab some, I'm just going to grab some tape runner. I'm not terribly worried about not being able to, that you're going to see some of it. I'll put it behind the sentiment and maybe a little bit on this part here. I'm going to go ahead and because you're not going to see a terrible amount of it because of all of the background behind it. Okay, oops, I didn't quite snip that off right. Okay, I'll glue that down. I want to play with these birdies a little bit more. I think they have to stay on my desk for tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to adhere this to a card base. And there we go, you guys. I hope you enjoyed tonight. I did go over just a little bit, just a couple minutes, but I am probably at the exact minute since I was late. We've created 4 cards tonight using the feathered path, or the feathered, sorry, I got the wrong, what's it called? What's it called? The origami flight. I can tell you just a second. I have the names in my head. We changed so much sometimes I can't forget. I used the Origami Flight Stamp Club member Stamp Club and the Feathered Path stencil, which of course I put in another spot, and now I can't find that first card. That was so pretty with our purple. So I appreciate you guys all so much. I'm just looking for my card. Where did it go? There's too much on my desk. There it is. All right, let's grab that. Those are our cards for tonight, you guys. Thank you. I love the vellum circle too. I think that's just really fun. We also use the embossing powder of the month and then the garden acetates that you could, garden lace acetate, so you can see how that works with the Soaring Skies paper pad. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you next week. Next week is inspiration box. So we will be playing with the inspiration box. I'm super excited. I hope to play with it a little bit this weekend and create some samples too. So I have some extras to show you guys. Have a great night, and I will see you all later. Bye.